The Battle of Zealand Point was a naval battle of the English wars and the Gunboat War. It was fought off Zealand Point by ships of the Danish and British navies on the 22nd of March 1808 and was a British victory. Prelude. The Danish ship of the line Prince Christian Frederick was stationed in Kristiansand, Norway from the 7th of August 1807. Patrolling waters between Norway and Denmark where Britain had imposed a blockade. In February 1808, the Prince Christian Frederick pursued the British ship HMS Quebec into hiding. Having learned of the Danish ship, the British Admiralty sent a squadron consisting of HMS Nassau, HMS Stately, HMS Vanguard, and 2 brigs, HMS Constant and HMS Kite, to secure the waters. While this was going on, Prince Christian Frederick became frozen in near Kristiansand. She therefore did not set sail for Denmark until the 4th of March. By the time Prince Christian Frederick reached Denmark, epidemic typhus had broken out among her crew. Ice in the Danish harbours prevented her from docking, and crew were replaced over the ice. On the 17th of March, morale deteriorated further when news arrived that King Christian had died. She was ordered into the Great Belt Strait to provide cover for a crossing of the French Army Corps consisting of Spanish soldiers ordered by Jean-Baptiste Jules Bernadotte to attack Skagen. Having been alerted to the Danish plan, the British ships gave chase. The British ships intended to outmaneuver, corner and overpower the Prince Christian Frederick. Captain Carl Jessen, after conferring with his officers, decided to take a stand in order to gain enough of a tactical advantage to move into familiar waters and within the protective range of the cannon at Kronborg. Course. In the hours before the battle, the Danish ship of the line was within sight of 2 British warships, the frigate Quebec and the sloop Lynx. At 2 p.m., they were joined by the sloop Falcon, who recorded the signal from Quebec, Danish line of battleship to windward, and cleared for action. Shortly after 4 p.m., Stately and Nassau were sighted to the northeast, and the signal, enforced with a gun, of the presence of the enemy led to all ships making all sail in chase. Falcon recorded in her logbook, from a safe distance of 5 miles, that the battle opened at 7:50 p.m. At about 7 p.m., Stately and Nassau flanked the Prince Christian Frederick, which opened fire on Stately. The 2 British ships returned fire. The initial engagement lasted for 2 hours, and resulted in the death of one of the Danish officers, Peter Williamos. After a brief pause, the British ships attacked again and succeeded in driving the Prince Christian Frederick onto the sandbar. The Danish officers surrendered and prisoners were transferred to the British ships. The dead were dumped overboard. The transfer of wounded took until the next morning. After failing in their attempts to tow the Prince Christian Frederick off the sand, the British set her on fire. She exploded in the evening of the 23rd of March. Stately had 4 men killed, and 31 officers and men wounded. Nassau lost 1 man killed, 17 officers and men wounded, and 1 man missing. Prince Christian Frederick lost 55 men killed and 88 men wounded. The British had evacuated all the Danish prisoners and wounded before they set fire to her. In 1847, the Admiralty awarded the Naval General Service Medal with clasps, Stately the 22nd of March 1808 and Nassau the 22nd of March 1808 to any still surviving crew members of those vessels that chose to claim them. Consequences. The Prince Christian Frederick was the last of the Danish ships of the line during the Napoleonic Wars. Its loss meant the end to any Danish challenge to British supremacy in Danish territorial waters.